Well, hello. It's great to be here today with Julie Goodnight. And we're talking about the E-BARQ quarter horse project. Now, E-BARQ is the Equine Behaviour Assessment and Research Questionnaire, which Julie's very familiar with because you like to do the questionnaire with your horses, don't you?
Absolutely.
Why is that? What do you think's so good about it that you find it useful to monitor behaviour or training, or how do you
Not
use
only
it?
to monitor behavior, but to have a real good overview of where the horse's strengths and weaknesses are. I love to use it with people that are coming new into my online training program so they can share their scores with me. And even though I've never met that horse, by looking at their E-BARQ scores and seeing where they're low and where they're high,
Yep.
and then putting that in the frame of reference of my own experience, I can have a pretty good understanding of that horse, even though I've never met him before. And for my horses, it's just a lot of fun to track their progress
Yes.
over the months and years.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. I think one of the great things about E-BARQ is it's a citizen science project, which means anybody can contribute data. And what you do is you go along to ebarq.com and you fill out your questionnaire about your horse, and we talk about your last 6 months. So you can go back every 6 months and update the data and see if you've changed your training a bit, or if the horse has changed somehow, maybe changed rider, maybe you've got a new horse that now you've had for a year or something. You can see how it's progressing, because at the end of the questionnaire, we give you a graph which rates your horse on sort of 13 different things: rideability, trainability, compliance, all these different things. And you can see, oh, look at that, my horse has got much more trainable than it was before, or much more independent perhaps than it was, or my horse is bolder than it used to be. And you can look at that and you can say, this is working with my training or perhaps my management techniques. It's really helping. So we're excited about this quarter horse project. We've got the most beautiful quarter horse behind us here. Can you introduce Annie to us?
Sure. This is my 16-year-old quarter horse mare. Her registered name is Annie's Hickory Stick, but we call her Annie. And on the top side, she's from a famous stallion called Doc's Stylish Oak. And on the bottom side, she goes back to a really famous cow horse by the name of Peppy Sand Badger. She's got a quite renowned brand. We call it the Stick Horse brand. It's a well-known quarter horse brand in the West, and it comes from a line of world champion horses.
Wow, lovely. And now we're joining up with Temple Grandin from Colorado State University, the University of Sydney, the University of Queensland, the University of New England, to do a special project on the genetics and inheritability of certain temperament traits in quarter horses in particular. And we know there's a lot of different lines of quarter horses. Quarter horses are very versatile, aren't they? So what we want to do is discover from your information and information about the behaviour of your horse, how these different lines of quarter horses vary and what sort of behaviours different lines of quarter horses are likely to produce. And we hope that with that information that we can better match horses to riders. Can you see some other benefits that we might get from knowing more about quarter horses' behaviour in particular?
Well, for one, there are just a lot of quarter horses, so the potential to get a lot of data, I should think, would be awesome. And then also, there is such a variety in the breed, from the very hot-blooded, thoroughbred racehorse down to the foundation-bred ranch horse, cow horses, speed horses. There's a lot of variety, and with that variety comes different temperaments and different behaviors. And to me, it's fascinating to think that we could understand a horse's behavior by looking at their genetics, but we're starting to discover that's true. For myself, having grown up on breeding farms, I've seen it again and again, that the behavior of the foal, I know there's a nature versus nurture argument, but we see gestures and mimicking behavior come up very, very early, like there's a genetic predisposition that it got from the mare. So I think being able to distinguish the type of horse it is and its temperament, that's going to relate to what types of training techniques we want to stay away from or that might work better. And most importantly, perhaps, is matching the suitability of the horse and rider.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different quarter horses out there. One of the things we love about the breed is they're gentle and quiet, so they're great for beginners, they're great for trail riding, but not all lines of quarter horse fit that bill. So
Yes.
if he's race bred or cutting bred, might not be good for those activities. So the more information, the better. How could we go wrong with
How
that?
could we go wrong? So you can be involved in two ways. You can just come along, take an E-BARQ, get your graph at the end, which rates your horse against the whole population of horses. And you can come back and do that with all breeds of horses every 6 months. So you can really benchmark and then monitor your horse's behaviour and training over time, which is great. If you want to be really involved and you have a lovely American quarter horse, you can also do your E-BARQ, and then with the link below, you can register for the program, and we're going to get some genetic material from you. So that's going to involve, a bit later down the track, maybe taking some strands of hair from the neck, from the mane, and giving us that genetic material, and then we can really get a good idea of how these behaviours are following the genetics. Yep.
Awesome.
Great.
Easy to do.
Yep.
Information is useful not only for your research, but for the individual horse owner as well, and perhaps useful for your trainer.
Yeah, very good. All right, thank you, Julie.
Thank
All right.
you.